Bad habits is a big one. Try and get rid of gossip, anger, complaining. Did you know it's a verse? Do all things without complaining in Philippians. That's a hard goal right there. But if you think about how blessed you are compared to most of the world. So here's some things kind of to trigger off, some of your thinking. And so on the spiritual side, I would say this. If you don't read your Bible every day or have a prayer list, add that to your life. Those things are actually more important to me than martial arts, accomplishing movie stuff, or anything like that. I don't really care. Basically, when I was younger, I made one goal. I made recommitment to Jesus, and I said, I want to make one goal. I'm going to be a godly man. Whatever else happens after that, cool. It's fine. God will take care of me, So my advice is just make that goal. I want to be a godly person. I want to be loving, a person of character. So look at this real quick before I go into, let's go to number 3. This is the secret right here. Okay, if I could say there's one secret, just remember this one right here. Okay, and these are in black belt principles, basically. But think about what you want to do and just follow the champions, whoever, whatever industry it is. If it's, computers or whatever. If you do this is all I've done. I wanted to be a pro surfer. So what did I do? I surrounded myself with the best surfers. I wanted to be good in sales. So what did I do? I surrounded myself with the best sales guys, seminars, all that. I wanted to be good in jiu-jitsu. I hung out with a world champion. And look at, that's it. I excelled in all this. I want to be a strong Christian. So I hang out with people that are godly. I hang out with Jesus. Can't lose. You know what I mean? So if I could say one thing today, I want to narrow it down to this. The reality is there's so many things you can do. But if I said there's one thing you can do, think about what you want to do right now. Surround yourself with the champions, whoever has excelled in those areas, and do what they do. Listen, they're successful for a reason, right? Find out what it is. Have your own style and twist, but see what it is. I'm kind of going through here quickly because I have so much stuff. I just added a bunch of the stuff 2 hours ago, so I'm winging it. Well, think about this. You guys basically are the 5 people you hang out with the most. The 5 influences you hear the most. Think about who that is, right? That's basically who you are. So perhaps add some people that are good influences in your life. Imagine if you're able to hang out with Tiger Woods for a year and learn golf. How good at golf would you be? You'd be amazing, right? I got to do this years ago with Kelly Slater. You guys know who Kelly Slater is? Please say yes. The best surfer in the world. The guys at the TED Talk, too, they didn't know who it was. I'm like, this is a shame, man. I'm leaving right now. But when we were younger, we were friends, and I'd be able to surf with him. He's 11-time world champion. And just by hanging out with him, I could just feel myself like evolving right there. I'd see what he's doing, and I'd be like, wow, it's that simple. Just do it. And it made sense. It's just like that when you guys hang out with champions. Whatever industry it is, if you guys hang with them and you're able to hang with them personally, great. If not, if it's like a Bill Gates or someone, study what they do, read about it. They're giving you information. Study about them, what they did to get there. This will change your life. If I could say one thing, number 1 is this: hang out with God, right? He'll change your life. But also hang out with champions. People are gifted. It'll completely change your life. That's it. And follow what they do with your own style. Okay, look at this. Let's go to the next one. So, hanging out at church, basically, is this verse. So, let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up. So, a lot of people in the church at the time were giving up on going to church together, meeting in the homes. He's saying, don't give up on that. I'm talking about hanging out with people that can help you get better. If this is a positive influence in your life, come to something like this. Come to church. Hang out at small groups. You know what I mean? Don't give up on meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. What day is that? It's a capital D, the day of the Lord, right? Someday, this is not going to be the way it is, So let's go into speed bumps real quick. So basically, before step 4, these are the things that are going to stop you from your goals right here. Number 1 is people just stop. For jiu-jitsu, they just stop training. They get a girlfriend, they get hurt, something like that, and they just stop. And they're watching more talented people. They're much more talented. They're watching people that are not as talented as them, passing them up. And you guys have people that you see at your work, and you're like, how did they get that job? You know what I mean? They're passing you up. Well, maybe we need to restart or something. 2 is People frustrate themselves that they don't enjoy the journey. Like we have students come in, they get their white belt, and they just want to go straight to black belt. Usually it takes about 10 years of competing to get a black belt. It's very hard. I've had 3 shoulder surgeries, chipped teeth, popped rib. Just a month ago I had a popped rib, and a pinched disc. It's a lot of work, to become a doctor, whatever. It's hard work, But enjoy the ride. It's not going to be white to black, I had a student recently just come in. He'd been training for 6 months, and he said, "Professor, I've been training 6 months now. How long does it take to get the next belt?" The next belt's a blue. And I was just like, relax, go back and do the techniques. If I choke you out, you'll get it. Don't worry about it. But we want to stay teachable, and, as soon as you start something, you want to achieve it immediately. If it was easy to do, you wouldn't want to do it, The hard things are great. And the last thing is this: expect to lose and learn from your failures. Losing equals learning. I always tell the kids class, I would teach a kids class as well, little 5 and 6-year-olds. Some of them are cute, some of them need a spanking. But they'll come up and they always cry because they're so competitive after they lose. And they're crying, and I stop crying. Losing equals what? Learning. Yes, very good. Go back and fight. But, you guys have heard before briefly, 5 years ago, I basically lost everything that I had. I have all the success now and neat things in my life, which is cool. If it goes away, no big deal to me. 5 years ago, I was in the surf industry, sales, making over $100,000 a year, U.S., my own hours, dream job. Bought a nice home in La Jolla, California, 3-story condo I loved. I was married. And so basically in 1 year, 5 years ago, within 1 year, I lost everything. Lost my job. It's a lot of money. So then I lost the home, which is a lot of money. Then the marriage, lost the marriage. Then I had 2 surgeries within a year, shoulder surgery and eye surgery. And then I lost almost about $100,000 U.S. in the stock market. So all in 1 year, I had all this stuff, and it was gone. Everything I had. And that was it. It was a test. And you know what I did? I hung out with this guy right here. Look at this. This is my buddy, Bobby Ducharme. He also was a surfer. We grew up together. He was going to be pro one day, and he was on a wave, and he went over the falls, hit his head on the sand, and broke his neck, and that was it. Quadriplegic. He can barely move one hand. And he was suicidal, and this is the part in TED Talk where, I wanted to really emphasize my Christianity. And his mom called me and said, basically, "Mike, I know you're a strong Christian. Bobby wants to kill himself. He's talking about rolling his wheelchair off the rocks, into the water, off this cliff." And she said, "Would you take him to church? Anything positive? Can you do something for him?" And I said, "Yeah, if he wants to go, I'd love to take him, And I called him up, and we went to church, and it was amazing, and it was cool. He gave his life to God, actually, and totally changed his life. You know what I mean? And actually, it was better than any counseling that I could ever gone through. Imagine that year I went through. If you guys have ever been through a divorce or loss of a job you love or your home or whatever, it's hard. But imagine, and even health, in 1 year, everything. And this, you know what I'd do? I'd go to church, I'd load him up in his van, I'd unload him when we come home, and then I'd walk to a home I couldn't afford, and I was grateful. I was grateful for my life. So things happen, but listen, you learn from it. And now Bobby has one hand. He can edit surf movies, and he goes around as public speaking, and he's a strong Christian. He goes to people that newly broken their necks, and he helps them out. It's amazing. His life's completely different after he gave his life to Jesus. He wasn't suicidal anymore. He found purpose. And he's actually very happy. And so the last step is this, is be generous. Listen, once you've accomplished things, just be generous, And, that's why I admire so much Bill Gates. Did you know that he said when he dies, he's going to give 95% of his wealth away? He's I'll keep 5 for my family, but he's one of the richest men in the world. But 95 I'm going to give to humanity and organizations. That's incredible. 95. And then we have Mother Teresa. What do we have to say about her? I mean, we know about her. Do you know what her job was? Her job was to hold people as they died, to give them integrity and love. So that's incredible. We have one of the richest men ever and one of the poorest women both contributing to society, right? To help out. We fall somewhere in that area. And look at these areas. We want to give to humanity, the environment, the animal kingdom, the things that God's blessed us with. And so I'm going to leave with this verse right here. Deuteronomy says what? Give generously to him, to people, and do so without grudging heart. Then because of this, the Lord your God will bless you in all your work and in everything you put your hand to. There will always be poor people in the land. Therefore, I command you to be open-handed toward your brother and toward the poor and needy in your land. And I think that's a great example to follow. And I've always been a person that I like to be generous and help. I don't know how you guys feel about tithing and all that, but I think it's a great principle. And if you don't feel comfortable with the church, fine. Go find an orphanage. Find someone that needs money. You know what I mean? Because we're blessed. We have a lot. We really do. And so lastly is this, you guys, is we're going to pass out the papers, right, Matt? Here it is, basically, the 4 steps. Think about something you would like to do. It can be something simple. And it's not like you're pigeonholing yourself that, I want to be a doctor, but I want to put it because I know I'm not going to do it. Just dream a little bit. Write some options, some things that you'd like to do. It might be play guitar. It might be a language. It might be martial arts. Or start a new class in school. But write some things down so you all get a paper. Start. Write some goals. Now, you don't have too much time to write your goals, but the more specific, just to let you know, you get, the closer you're going to reach. How do you reach your goals is very important. Thirdly, write some people that you know, whatever you're writing down, that could help you get there. Who's the champion in that area? And then fourthly is this, once you get there, how would you like to be generous to other people? So that's basically it. And then there's the speed bumps, so expect those. So we're going to pass these out, do 10 minutes?
Yeah. And just what you're looking at, so it has Mike's 4 goals: start, make goals, hang with champions, be generous, in the first row. And then there's several rows here. There's spiritual goals for 2014, relational, physical, intellectual. You can change these rows and these columns as you like. But I just suggested spiritual, relational, physical, and intellectual.
Daniel, will you put that one page of just the goals list, like all the different options? Maybe this triggers off some ideas. So how long, Matthew? 8 minutes? Okay.
5 minutes before.
And then we'll ask a couple of you guys after, like just some things maybe that, that interested you. And again, you're not pigeonholed to it like, you said a year ago you were going to go to the gym and you never went, Just think about what you want to do. Dream a little bit.
If you'd like something to write on, please raise your hands. I'll bring you around the book or a Bible to write on. Mike, thank you so much for the talk. That was outstanding. Start goals, champions, generosity. That was great. Would anyone like to share a goal or several goals of theirs? Would anyone have the courage to share? Yes, Grover. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Grover. Hmm. 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 Thank you, Grover. That was great. Who plays tennis here? Okay, there, that helps, Grover. Yeah. Yeah. Would anyone else like to share? Yeah, I know, that's true. Danielle, go ahead, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Mm. Nice. Does anyone take yoga here? Nice. Okay, nice. All right. Anyone else like to share? Mike, why don't you call? Oh, Terry, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Hmm. 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 That's good. Thank you, Terry. All right, we had 2 men. We had 1 woman. We should have 1 more woman share. Who would like to? Oh, go ahead and pull a king. Oh, you're not sharing. Okay. Ravenna, would you like to share? No, you're not. We need another woman. Nice. Nice. That's great. Did anyone else put that as a goal? Cantonese? Okay, Jamie. Nice. Does anyone teach Cantonese here? Bianca, you teach Cantonese. Okay. Oh, Nicole, that's right, she does. She's not here tonight. She's a Cantonese teacher. Okay, I have 2 announcements for you. On the slides, you'll see for next week our speakers. We may only have one of these speakers because they may not agree to share prime time. And either of these speakers would be wonderful to have in their own right. However, we want to experiment with something new. We may do 20 minutes of one speaker with 10 minutes of Q&A, and then 20 minutes of the next with 10 minutes of Q&A. So, John Huffman, he's in his 70s. He's a pastor and author of about 19 books, and he's on the board of Christianity Today, Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary, World Vision, and the National Association of Evangelicals. And he graduated from Princeton Theological Seminary, which is a good thing. So he'll be doing 20 minutes, and then the speaker after him, next slide, is Nuri Vitace. Nuri Vitace has published over 40 books. He's maybe the most beloved author in Hong Kong. He's originally from Sri Lanka, or Ceylon, and he will be speaking on Jesus' humor, that Jesus did in fact have a sense of humor. So we hope you come back. As Mike said so well, Oasis is about being with God and being with good friends. So let's close out in a word of prayer. But before we do that, if you're new tonight, and many of you are new, and we don't have your contact information, please come up to me and give that to me. So whether it's through Facebook or email or phone, whatever you prefer, we can let you know the upcoming speakers throughout the year. Okay, let's bow our heads. Lord, thank you so much for Mike's talk. And we pray that at the beginning of 2014, we would apply the principles that he taught us, and that these goals will be accomplished for your glory. Amen. Right. Thank you, Mike.
This one will pop back up on here.